Welcome to Navid Computers. Welcome, students. Just before that, we know about just object-oriented concepts, and we'll learn all about object-oriented concepts. Now, we are going to see the Java features. We are going to see the Java features. So, in this Java features, just first one is very simple. So writing the program in Java is very simple. So you know that already non-procedure oriented programming generally very simple because you don't want to follow the structure oriented approach. Here in it is object oriented programming. Not only that. So when you want to write any program that can be very simple and you can write coding very well. Not only that, if you want to load or download any packages, any classes, you can import over here and you can use it. That's why it's very simple to use, simple to write, simple to decode, compile, and interpret. Finally, you can produce the results. So, second one, students, security. Java is having much security. Why? So Java became number one programming language because it has a one advantage, that is a bytecode. Generally, the high level language may be converted into machine level language. So if you see C++, C or any other languages, so the language may compile into uh, machine level language. You know that. So object code. But here in Java, there is a special codes. So it will generate a special codes. That codes never known by anybody. I may not unknown. Somebody doesn't know. Nobody knows about that. But the Java Virtual Machine (JVM) knows about this. The Java Virtual Machine knows about it. That is the greatness of Java. Means whatever the high level language coding we are written that may convert into bytecode. That we don't know. You don't know. But Java JVM knows it. So if you provide that bytecode, it will process and produce the whatever the required result was. Somebody is moving in a line connection, so wired line or somewhere. Somebody, the hackers may theft that code, but they cannot do anything with that code. So if they want to get that code, in that they may get some other information card, credit card information, debit card, anything. They cannot get it because they never understand that code. It must have to reach to a JVM. It analyzes and produces the results. That's why Java having a more security than any other. Java having a more security than any other. That's why I keep saying to you, it is a high security one. Okay, that bytecode is a number one thing in Java. Okay, next one, portable. So portable means what? You can run anywhere. See, the third one is a portable. So portable means what? You can run the program anywhere, any place. Nothing but suppose if you are converted into bytecode, that bytecode will be used for many places and many uses. As well as if I run the program in here, the same code taken to some place and will run over there. So if you are in America, I can transfer the data there. You can execute and run it. So it is a portable, very simple. You can take and make something like that. Means you can transfer the code anywhere. You can process the code any place. So now it doesn't require this system only. It will run in MS Windows. It will run in Unix. It will run in somewhere not like that. It will run any application, any operating system, any place, any system. That is the thing which the plus with Java. Next one, object oriented. What are the object oriented programming concepts are there? All object oriented concepts will be applied in Java. Nothing but because Java is a object oriented programming language. What are the features you may have in oops, all the feature may included in it also. Means data hiding, encapsulation, overloading, and what are the things we found. Next, what we are going to do is this. Next afterwards, we will see about portable. We know about portable. We can run anywhere, any place. Then after object oriented, this is truly object oriented programming language. Next, we will see about this one. Multi-threading. Multi-threading. What is a multi-threading? So at a time doing many operations is called multi-threading. So many processing. Suppose you are working with sales department, you are working with purchase department, you are working with accounts department. All suppose the data required for sales, the data required for purchase, so data will be processed over here. Program remains like this. Suppose the program must have to run within. It will take 50 seconds. Another program it will take 20 seconds. So it will be laid like this. When it will be like this, so the second program never wait for a 50 seconds after completion of first job. The first job will take 50 seconds. The second job will take 20 seconds. Third job will take 30 seconds. But these two jobs, second job, they never wait for a first job completion 50 seconds time. So when it is 50 seconds time itself, the second job. Students, next multi-threading. What is multi-threading? At a time processing the many number of jobs. That is called multi-threading. So one thread, it's nothing but one application, one program, one method you are running off. Second method, third method. First job, second job, third job. If first job takes 50 seconds, the second job takes 30 seconds, the third job will take 20 seconds, total it will become 100 seconds. So if your execution of a particular program will become 100 seconds. But when you use a multi-threader, within 50 seconds, when you are running a first job 50 seconds, in the second job will run automatically. Okay, nothing but 30 seconds, the first 30 seconds may complete. The first is 20 seconds, third job will complete. Next, the first to 30 seconds, the second job will complete. Final 50 seconds of first job will complete within a 50 seconds. So nothing but what a time it may do many processing. It never take much time. So that is advantage of good advantages in Java. You can do many multi-threads like that. But you don't stay for first job. After completion of first job only I will do second job. After complete second job only I will do third job. It never be in it. If you use a threading option, it may do at a time. The process will do at a time. Nothing but operating system. You could take it out. We are hearing the music. We are writing the program. We are charting it. We are seeing the video. At a time we are doing all the process. Like that, multi-threading. Multi-threading nothing but a multi-processing. Remember that. Next, we will see about distributed. The actually Java supports the internet systems, TCP/IP protocols, as well as what are the protocols we will use for the communication and transferring the data, receiving the data. To distribute, why it is distributed? Whatever the data it may take, transfer and process. After process it may collect and store wherever it want to store and wherever it stored in a centralized server. So everything will be processed by distributed. The data will be processed many places and it may be taken and processed and produce the results. That is called distributed. Next, we will go for which one? What we will see? Next one. Again, I was written distribute. So sorry. Next, this is a compiler and interpreter programming. So compiler and interpreter programming. Compiler and interpreted programming. Interpreted programming means interpreted programming means you know that the compilation process nothing but transferring high level language machine level, that is object code. But Java having two, compiler as well interpreter. Why means, so if you want to convert high level language to bytecode, you may use a compiler. Then after bytecode goes somewhere, it goes to JVM. In JVM, you may have a JIT compiler as well as interpreter to convert that bytecode as well as to produce a particular results. So that why it is included for the compiler as interpreter for the fast processing and producing the perfect result. And the project must be done within a second like that. So it never have to take a much time. So that's purpose only. Compiler and interpreter both are in Java. So that's why it is compiled interpreted. So what I said was another one, robust. Robust. Robust means what? That is the exception handling and memory management. Java having a good exception handling and memory management. So whatever the errors you may got, Java automatically it will clear those errors. So if you want to put exception, you can put it. That handling will be happen in a Java. That's why it is robust. Next, what you will do, that is memory management. Memory management is a big. The exception handling and memory management is the extraordinary one in Java. Memory management is allocating the memory and deallocating memory whenever you don't require. It has to make it as zero. That means the memory management, it allocates, deallocates, and what was the management must be happened by using Java. That is the greatness of Java. That's why it is robust. So next one, final one is dynamic. Java access the programs very well, process the very well, and when the run time also it may makes a good results. It has a good accuracy as well as reliability. You can rely. So shall we rely? Shall we? It is reliable for us, and yes, it is reliable for us. It makes it good results as well as it is highly reliable. So that's why it has a good dynamism in Java. That's why you are able to make many things with Java. So this is the friends about it. These are all the things. Simple, security, portable, object-oriented, multi-threaded, and distributed, robust, and we know that compiler interpreted and dynamic. These are all the main advantages and features of Java. Thank you, students. Bye.